live. I apologize if I misled you with my, what do you call a tweet now? I still will call it a tweet forever. A post, my post on X.
X post.
Because I very excitedly said that Ted was going to be on at 8 and at 7 on Lindell and 8 here. Lindell has taken a very religious, very holy week of Christmas vacation, Mike being the generous man that he is. And you can thank him for it because he's going to be on shortly. He may give everybody time off, but he doesn't take time off, right, Ted?
Right. Because
he's running for governor of the fraud state, which will become the great state when he becomes governor. And I don't know if Ted's willing to admit this, but Ted got his Christmas present today. It was a little late, and he was a good boy. Santa was just late. He got him presents, but they weren't like, they were presents. Not one of those presents where you go, wow, Santa, yeah. What the hell did you give me? Wow, I don't deserve that. Today, he made a little call and asked if he would be welcome at the place you see behind me. Do you know what that place is? No. It's not Puerto Rico, and it's not some desert island.
It looks like it could be.
It's an unusual shot. You're going to see a few unusual shots of Mar-a-Lago. Really kind of this. If Mar-a-Lago has a center, it really doesn't. That would be maybe geographically the center. The center would be more where he has his weekend dinners.
Right.
That'd be the center.
We'll bring up some. We'll get some pictures.
And of course they rolled out the red carpet for our Ted because he's so well liked there.
I said I knew the mayor,
and he was there, and he knows them too. Don't let him. He knows them. And he got to be there at the press conferences, asked a couple of questions, obviously got a bunch of the other questions, got a lot of information. When the president, you'll notice, I want you to listen very, very carefully. During the first, I think it's the first or second, I get the press conferences confused. You will excuse me, I'm getting over a really bad cold. And I almost didn't think I might be able to do the show tonight. But I got so excited about having Ted do all this, I wanted to be part of it. Yeah. And I have to tell you, what I can't remember if it was when was the press conference when he asked everybody when they want? Well, he loves to do that now. He did it yesterday.
He did it, yeah.
Would you all like to have lunch? Of course, I'm going to pay for it. That might ethically be, he tries to create a little, what we say in Italian is agita for him, for them. And yesterday they had a little. Yesterday they had a couple of that were debate, but today somebody led the way, and I heard a yes. And I said to myself, if Ted isn't the one saying yes, he wanted to be.
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah,
you were yes, right?
I was vocal.
Look, I got to tell you the truth, Mr. President. If Biden had offered him lunch, he would have taken it. He eats anything.
Yeah. I was.
If you know who would have been for the lunch there faster than Steven's dog Raleigh? Ted.
But in a way, I was able to help the press corps. Someone who's been to Mar-a-Lago quite a few times. These guys, these press folks.
They don't know anything about Mar-a-Lago.
Exactly.
He never lets them in.
He doesn't, but he was so kind. He even came out after the press we had been brought to the patio area, and they served us burgers and fries and big chocolate chip cookies. And the press, the president himself came out for like 30 seconds, right? He poked his head out onto the patio and wanted to make, you guys good? Is Margot treating you guys well? Are you getting everything you need? And I'm standing right there by the door. Yes, Mr. President.
And did they? Were they treated well?
Yes.
And did they act well? Or they act like they used to? First of all, question that's more important than even the political questions. Does the Washington press corps, of which some of them are, do they have table manners?
I will say the folks I was with, they were very good. They were very gracious towards me being a new member of the press pool. They found it interesting when I told them my background with you and America's Mayor Live. Some of these reporters had been around forever, so they had covered you as mayor.
In prison, right?
No,
they thought they put me in. They don't read the stuff about
They knew a lot about you.
Cleared in Georgia, cleared in Michigan, cleared in. They not even indicted. Wisconsin,
they cleared. They were
cleared by the report in Wisconsin.
right. We got to get all. I mean, I'm sure they're all racing to.
Turned out to be right about the
rewrite their papers.
3,000 phony ballots in Georgia. Turned out to be right about not being able to even now count the ballots in Pennsylvania.
That's right, Mayor. So we'll later on we'll play some of the cuts from the press conference today, and I got a few questions in. I think we made a little bit of news, Mayor. I think we made a little international news.
Well, you did make a little bit of
our
news. First of all,
questions.
yes, it was fun, and he could have been there like for the let's say they had an Easter party at Mar-a-Lago, the Easter party,
Right.
or he could have been there for the Christmas party,
Ah.
or he could have been there for those are fun.
They're
And you
fun.
get a lot of little funny little things, but you rarely make some kind of news unless
Right.
somebody brings a flying bull dyke or
right.
just jumping on children.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you got. I mean, this is. He's like a what would you say? He's like a news machine.
He is,
He's like
and
a-
he's good at.
So since we do the news every day now, right? We do it every day since he's been president, and we compare it to Biden, who in another way made a lot of news,
Yes,
a different way.
different way. He
Without
didn't mean
making news,
without meaning
without
to.
being there, things would happen.
Yeah.
You can't find them. That's news. Things would happen. Can't find them. That's news.
He tripped. He couldn't.
War starts here. War starts there. War starts here. Inflation goes to record highs.
Right.
But there's no inflation.
Yeah.
15,000 people come in one day. Never happened
Yeah.
before. But it never happened. And the guys, reporters standing there, the people coming across the border. Oh, the border really is under control. Oh, man, it gets knocked down. The border is really under control. It really is under control. But now we get real news every day that has implications, that takes you back to world history. I mean, I find myself reading more history now than I have since his first term. Because you know why? You know when you're reading history? When things are getting confronted.
Right.
If things are just going wrong and wrong and wrong and nothing's being done about it, I don't know, you're not motivated to look at history because it's not going to solve anything. But when things are going right, you go back and you read about, like I have right in my Kindle right over there, really one of the best and seminal histories of how that whole area of Slavic Rus came together. How did it all come together? And then where do the ancient rivalries, where do they go? Where are they in the blood?
Right.
Because it's always that the propaganda theories are wrong, but it's never that the propaganda theories are not based on history. Not with an unintelligent population. And Russia and Ukraine are an intelligent population. They're by world standards, they're in the upper half of educated, easily. They've had at times very good and at times very poor education systems, but they're well educated, despite the inroads of atheistic communism on Ukraine. It hasn't dented Christianity at all, maybe that much. And despite the attacks of atheistic communism, both Lenin and Stalin and Khrushchev and whatever the hell Putin does to them, it's dented, but it hasn't removed the basic core of Christianity. It's created more of at the top, a pretense of Christianity than in Ukraine. And it hasn't stopped a suicidal, insane, pathological regime that kills for the joy of killing. And this is my major problem with Trump putting so much confidence in Putin.
Right. And so, well, speaking of friends, we have with us, well, we'll wait for him to get seated here. We have a very close friend of the show, of course, the owner of Lindell TV, which we are on every night, 7 p.m. Eastern, the Rudy Giuliani show. And of course, now the candidate, and I will say the front runner for governor of it's called the land of 10,000 lakes, Mayor, the great
That's right.
state.
You don't hear
Minnesota.
it called it that often anymore.
Right. There he is. We had him. There he is. Mike Lindell, the great Mike Lindell. There he is.
Trying to get this hooked up here. I don't have a big camera crew, like you do there.
Big camera.
I got a big one. I got a kid.
Yeah. We are looking good, Mayor.
He got a lunch on the boss today.
Yeah. I hear that. Huh? Yeah.
He bought everyone lunch, and we got to ask Allison and Kara if the boss ever buys them lunch over in Washington.
We should send him down here. I think he'd buy them lunch. He'd buy them lunch faster than you.
Hey, he gave me ice cream last night, you guys.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he invited me over to the table. He said,
tell the mayor.
Here you go, Mike. Have some ice cream.
What?
At the members only. I don't know if we can talk about it, Mike. But if you want to,
we can't. We saw him earlier. in the day.
Mike's a member, so Mike had a members only get together.
I don't know if it was members only. It was a big. Maybe it was. It was a big band, and maybe it was members and their guests. I don't know. I just
it was.
It was. Yeah, we're here. It was a great band. It was 1970s all music band. I mean, it was a great time.
Yeah.
A lot of people coming up to me and they're going, Mike, bring that Minnesota flag back, and they all wanted to help out. So it was a great night. A lot of support here. They're all gonna put support my campaign at MikeLindellGov.com, everybody. And what perfect timing. I said, Mayor, like on the campaign like this, I said, I don't even have to do anything right now, right? I just let them do all their own thing.
Now I remember this advice from two of the best campaign advisors, Roger Ailes and Dick. I'll remember who it was, but the advice was
David Garth.
If your opponent is imploding, shut up.
Yeah, right.
Stay out of the way. If you're sympathetic, you might look crooked. If you're mean or you're tough, you might look nasty.
Right.
Things could change a little. They could get a little better for them. They could get a little worse for them. So just hang in there. Wait, see.
Right. I am going to bring up one thing, though, because you guys, this is all the primary. There's 12 other people in the field. And the one gal that's Demirth, she's right now the head of the Republican Party in Minnesota. And she just came out today with this press conference. And she's talking about, all the stuff that reporter Nick, what's his last name? Shirley, that he did. She's almost like taking credit for it for the Republican Party in Minnesota, which she's running for governor too. And she goes, and then she brings up it was all this stuff. We found this last February, and we found this last year, and they're trying to say, well, Waltz didn't do anything about. Well, what did you guys do about it?
Yes.
I'm sitting there going, yeah, I'm going to use that because we have governor debates this next month. We have 3 or 4 debates. I'm going to go, you mean you knew about this since last February or maybe even in 2024? And you sat back and you just like, boy, we're going to watch those Democrats and the governor do absolutely nothing. And you're not telling the people?
Ted,
doing something. That's
Mike, when did she say? Do you remember? We're gonna put her on. We're gonna get her and put a picture of her on. But when did she say that she first found out? They first found out.
Her tape that was just sent to me. I believe it was for this particular thing in 2024, but for sure last February. And they even brought up the one where the guy didn't put the N in it, where it says Luring Center instead of Learning Center. But and let me get this here. It was just sent to me.
Yeah, but you send it to Ted.
Yeah, I'm going to send it to Ted.
Yeah. You know what we're going to do?
It's probably it's 20 minutes long, but I'll tell you.
That's okay. We'll get it down to whatever we want. But what I'm thinking of is this. Nick was on today, and he was on with a quick interview. They caught him at a place, and he said he thought that this place. He said he thinks they were pulling out somewhere between that, he must have been 10 million a month. I thought maybe he said 10 million a week. He said they were
Right.
pulling out 10 million a month or a week. So
Right.
if you think about it, since February, by not turning it in, we figure out how much money was wasted from the period of time she didn't turn it in.
Right.
Well, this
We'll blame
this
that
is
part on
just
her.
it. Or at least didn't sound the alarm for that we all knew about in Minnesota.
That's what shitty Republicans do all over the country.
This is what's been going on. This is a good reason I'm running for governor. I'm tired of it. This goes back. I helped Jason Lewis in his campaign back in 2018, and he uncovered this was schooling, I believe, classrooms, because the Somalis have done it in many different ways, but I believe that was classrooms, maybe food. I can't remember. It had something to do with the food. Then along came the China virus. Of course, all the fraud that went into that, and now they just brought up something else. It's called non-emergency, like Ubers for the elderly and the disabled. Well, they've got all these cars running around with there's no passengers, kind of like there's no kids in these schools. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, you've seen more of it than I have, but today
you can't make it up.
He appears at a place that looks like it hasn't been used in about 10 months.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting 10, they have like hundreds of children.
Yep.
And they get about 10, they got a budget for their program of about 10 million a month. And all you see is empty chairs.
Yeah.
Not have been used in a long. It looks like abandoned property.
Right.
Here's the other thing, everybody. This one that we looked into, this one had violations. Well, they actually had children. Wait a minute, they had children there, right?
That's maybe even worse.
No, it was worse. This is like 4 years ago now, and they put them in violation for all these violations. I don't know what it was, but every place you would not want your child at, I'll tell you that. And then you wonder if these parents brought their child there. It's all these untrained Somalians, whatever. I don't know, but they were in all these violations. So the state put them on double secret probation, like Animal House or something. You're in double secret probation. Well, I don't know what that meant, because all of a sudden they got paid the same amount. It was $8.2 million after they had done all those violations. Now, they probably had no more violations because they probably took the kids away. You can't get violated if there's no parents there to report the violation. That's what we think happened. They just pulled the kids out and just kept, you're not going to get any more violation. Then if they do a checkup, well, the kids are out today, but everything's plugged in. Yes, we really do have food, and there's the water fountain, I mean, this is disgusting. And they say it might now. I'm personally hearing from states like Maine, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Washington State, where the Somalians too have, once they learn something, Minnesota's where they go to learn how to do it all. It's like a training ground of fraud. They were working. Weren't they working in close cooperation with Colorado on one of the programs? It was a Colorado, Minnesota. It was a Colorado, Minnesota program. Here, see, this goes pretty deep. This goes back to where I had problems with them. Sorry about the lighting here, guys. I haven't quite got that right. Not a problem. But the Colorado, you guys, on January 3rd, I'll get the date right. You can look it up on the internet. 2016. Okay, January 3rd, 2016. Cargill is a very big company based in the Twin Cities. Okay, but they have plants in Colorado, and this is when all the Somalians, of course, they want their Islam prayer times. Their prayer times, 5 times a day. They want to come over here. They don't want to simulate, and they want Sharia law and shut down our assembly lines or our working lines where you can't do that. And Cargill said, "Oh, no, you're not going to do this here." And they said, and now they had a thing that they had all signed. If they don't come back to work for 3 days, they can fire them all. So Cargill waited the 3 days, fired 200 of them. But guess what happened? Even though they had those signatures, so they get sued, because it's not politically correct to do that. So they get sued and they settle for, I don't know, a couple $1 million. Of course, then every other company was afraid to do it, to say no to them. And in Minnesota, they said, oh, you know, you at My Pillow and Amazon's next door, you guys got to find them prayer times. It wasn't the law, but it was you. It was very subjective that you had to do this. Well, and of course, Amazon, Jeff Bezos next to me, he wouldn't do it. He shipped them out. He said, I'm not doing it. They're there to make parts to run down the assembly line. They all picketed him, but he held his ground. That's one good thing that he did. And since he did that, they kind of just I think they gave up and just working out at plants like My Pillow or Amazon or whatever, and said, hey, we're just going to do our own fraud thing in the cities. I think that's what they did. Seriously, there was a big shift back then.
So how's it going, Mike? Are you? We can donate money to you now.
Yeah, you can donate. You guys, it's Mike
Telling people to donate now before the end of the year, so we can hit up at the beginning of next year. Come on.
Yeah, it's MikeLindellGov.com. And this is very important. All these funds that we can get raised here this week, we're using for, it was a campaign thing I was actually going to do with the president and you, Mayor. We were working on that, making these half-hour infomercials so people I'm going to explain to them how the problem solutions in Minnesota. I've got the solutions, but you can't really say it in a 1-minute commercial. And so we're gonna do I'm gonna get all those Democrats downtown, the blacks and Hispanics, and say, hey, what do you want to change? Well, they're all gonna say, we want this fraud gone, we want these illegals out now, and we want these guys put in prison so we can go back, and we need these resources. We're working hard, and we've lost our jobs, the people don't go downtown, they don't feel safe anymore. So it's MikeLindellGov.com, and I'll tell you, every dime I'm going to win this. Right now, I think they got the polling at 54%, and I just started campaigning 2 weeks ago. But I'm going to these governor debates over the next month, and I can't wait. Now, after this lady came out today and said, well, we knew about it for a year, but those darn Democrats, they didn't. The governor didn't do anything about it. What did you do? I'd be screaming from the top of my lungs like I have been for 5 years about the election.
No kidding. Stuff. No, I think people know, Mike, what you would do about it. Here's a recommendation from Trump, and ask him about it while you're here. Last year at about this time, Ted and I were here, and we shot a few little things with him. But he was shooting 2 days of commercials,
right?
And he used them for the rest of the campaign. He had about 10, maybe 15 that were worked out perfectly on certain themes,
right?
And then whenever he needed one, remember we look at it in August and we said, my God, we saw that at Christmas time. A few of them he had to get rid of because he had the Christmas tree in them.
Right.
When you get a chance, you should just shoot a whole bunch of commercials.
No. Well, each one of the issues, and we do that. You know, that's one thing. That's one thing I'm pretty good at. We'll getting commercials. I'll tell you.
No kidding.
Yeah, and I actually,
no kidding.
I was very, very happy to hear. The Chris Riding last night said, Mike, you can come on anytime and talk about your run. So I got to give him, that meant a lot to me that he said I can come on over there, because they used to be scared of me coming on because they figured I would say some machine swear word or something like that rhymed with something.
I think that's good. That's good.
So that was a big step. I thanked him so much. I said, I'd love to come on, and because we got to get the word out, we got to say, man, this. It's almost like a national election. You get Waltz in there. Everybody's
if he stays, if they don't arrest him before,
right?
I mean, I can't tell you they're not going to arrest him.
Right.
There's an awful lot. The story about smoke and fire.
Yeah.
This isn't smoke. This is 7 buildings have burned down already.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. It really is. And they
got 50 people were convicted already.
Yeah. And I've lived it. It's been, it's funny because they say, well, Mike, what about how you're going to win this? Minnesota, all the corruption, blah, blah, blah. Well, let me tell you. And then you remember Waltz also, that even if you took the machine crime, let's say there are no computers used, and let's say it was a fair election. Remember, he took all the Somalians and all the illegals and gave them all driver's licenses. Now that's what he did. He passed them out. So we got cities in Minnesota that they're driving on the wrong side of the road up in St. Cloud, and people call me up and they go,
Mike, I got to ask you this before we got to get off, but I've got to ask you this. How do you get a driver's license without taking a driver's test?
Yeah, he just passed them out. Gave them
If
out
you
to
don't come from America.
all the illegals. I don't know if they. I'm sure that you'd think they would have to at least take the driving test, but I
Well, they
guarantee
did
you,
in Colorado.
yeah,
They
you know,
did in
I'm sure
Colorado.
they probably did in Minnesota either, but I can't say that for sure. But I will say that they weren't qualified to drive, and they certainly weren't qualified to vote. They were
Well,
not
there
qualified.
were Haitians. Last year, they caught Haitians who never had a driver's test, did
Yeah.
not know how to drive, and they were driving on the damn sidewalks.
Yeah. Do you know, I feel, you know, I feel kind of slighted on that. You know, in the 1980s, I got I don't know, half a dozen, no, maybe 3 DWIs. So I didn't have a driver's license for like 20 years. These guys come in, they pass them out like there's nothing to it. You know, I had to earn mine back with a lot of stuff. But
Well,
the big
Mike,
thing is,
when are we
they
going to see
didn't
you?
Yeah.
You're right here near me, and you got to come over and see me. Not
Yeah,
today,
all
you would
right.
have gotten a cold, but tomorrow I'll be fine.
Okay, maybe I get on tomorrow night or the
Yeah, tomorrow night or the
we're-
next night, and
we're-
we'll go to
yeah.
the New Year's together. All right,
New Year's. Yep, absolutely.
You're going, right?
Oh yeah, yep. That's we're
okay. I got to
gonna
see
be
you
here through
perform
New
now.
Year's.
Yeah, Ted's
Yeah.
performing on New Year's. I want you to know that.
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
know this,
good.
but-
Yeah, I hear he's a pretty good singer.
President told me he's going to ask him to make a demand performance. You're going to have to reenact one of your commercials. Whichever one he likes. I know the one I like best. He's going to have to do the one he likes best, okay?
Yeah. You like the one where I open the mirror? You're
That's
looking
the
good.
one
I know
like,
you
yeah.
would. You're
I
looking
love
good.
that. Will you please put that back on my show, please? Okay. All
I'll
right.
go dig that in the archives. All right. God bless you, Mayor. Thank you. Thanks, Dad.
Happy Merry Christmas to everyone, and we'll see you in a day or so. Bye bye.
Yep.
There's a governor, huh? You know, here's the interesting thing about this, Ted.
Yeah.
If the problem is they wouldn't have gotten top of this, if he were governor that had gotten top of it so fast, it would have ended before it started.
Well, right. It's
That's
amazing.
the beauty of having a guy with the hands-on enthusiasm, over-the-top enthusiasm that he has running the government. They like Trump,
Right.
or frankly like me. If you're on top of everything, my God, it's so big, you're still going to miss something.
Right.
But you're not. I can guarantee you, you're not going to miss something as big as that.
Right.
Yeah, you'll miss 50 people stealing in this bureau, 30 people stealing in that bureau. You can always miss that. They're human. You are not going to miss, what is it now, a $9 billion fraud?
But well, apparently they did, and that's my question, Mayor, including, and Mike touched upon that. Even Republicans now coming out from the state, right, that are
Who
talking
knew
about
it 6 months ago? Didn't we?
Yeah,
I think about it. A reason I got the date, Ted,
this is
but when we get this thing from him, I think he said 100,000 a month. If he did, that's
these are like crazy
100
levels.
I forgot what it was, but it's going to turn out to be just that alone would have been like $100 million.
Right.
And if you look at the place, nobody ever made a site visit. Because he had given $10 million to a place and you never make a site visit.
Right.
And if you made a site visit, there's nobody there.
Right.
Where are my 30,000 kids and my 10,000 kids and my 3,000 kids? I'm buying meals for 2,000 kids. Don't you want to check the meals? You want to see if they have rats in them or shit in them? Because they do. Even in good programs, even in the usual stinky Democratic crooked programs, please understand me. When it says not for profit, 50%, it's fugazi. That means it's bad. And I never thought it was bad like it didn't exist. I thought it was bad like they put rat shit in the food. And they hire sexual predators for guards for the kids because they're criminals running it. They're brothers, they're uncles, they're this one, they're that one. And they double and triple the amount of the bid. So there's a lot of money in for the crooked politicians who give it to them. Now, why do I know this? Because they've been doing this in New York before we were a republic. This is more important in New York than knowing how to jaywalk. Because it's a damn crooked Democratic state, and it has been for 170 years. And the people on this, what is it, Friday, are going to find out what it's like to be in the thralls of an Islamic extremist loving communist. Let's see what happens with that. And when they say, oh my God, we need help, we'll give them help, but we'll say never again because you deserve it. You voted for this. You weren't not warned. You weren't not warned. You knew you were getting a Jew-hating, communist-loving, Islamic, extremist-supporting baby. We'll be right back. U.S. Army Major Scott Smiley paid a high price serving our nation. Scott was leading his platoon in Iraq when a blast sent shrapnel through his eyes, leaving him blind and temporarily paralyzed. Scott would become the first blind active duty military officer before medically retiring years later. Thanks to friends like you, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation gave Scott and his family a mortgage-free, specially adapted smart home. Show your support for America's heroes now. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at.
Are you ready for some action?
I'm ready for action.
Get the Elite TV plan only through the portal. 218 channels, and it's only $69.95 a month.
Wow.
Including your free portal.
That's cheaper than everyone else.
Your favorite sports, movies, news,
Wow.
even daytime dramas. We're talking about ESPN, OAN, Newsmax,
Wow.
channels you can't get anymore in certain areas.
Compared to the competition, this is a way better deal.
Endless selection. Not to mention all the free music channels. There's over 700 premium and classic movies all ready to go.
Wow.
Plus, they got catch-up TV that allows you to go back and watch what you've missed or want to watch again. Cut your cable in half and get twice as much for free.
Way more channels for half the cost.
After the first year, the subscription then drops to $57.95 monthly,
Wow.
where you change or upgrade anytime. Go to QUXNow.com and get yours today. Use promo code RUDY. Act fast. These deals are selling out.
Here we are, pretty much at the beginning of the process here at this pristine, I call it a laboratory. It's not like a factory, it's like a hospital. This is the beginning of the process for roasting. Deep grain, very good quality. Most people don't use this quality. We deal with small farmers because they like to know who we're dealing with. They give us the highest quality, all organic, non-GMO. You should know all Arabica beans, no Robusto, all Arabica. They're going to go into the roaster, and it'll get roasted for about 20 minutes or so. Oh my goodness, look at these. My goodness. You're going to want to specially order these. This is what goes into Rudy's coffee.
And we're back.
There are ones as nice as this.
Yeah. It's a good background.
Are we back?
Yep. Look at that background.
Yeah, much greener. It's much greener than it looks.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back to America's Mayor Live. And as you see in the background is, that's Mar-a-Lago right on the water. You'll see down, you'll see the tower. The tower there is the Mar-a-Lago Tower.
Right.
To the left, well, to the right are where all the events took place today. In those buildings that almost look a little like the Vatican in a way, right?
Right.
In those buildings in there, Ted was at the door, and we were going to use the background, the door. In fact, we almost did. I wonder if we should. But this is more interesting. You'll get to see the whole thing, and then I'll play more of it for you later, so you get to feel like you were there.
Right.
And you should know that I could take you on a tour of Mar-a-Lago.
Right.
I began staying there as a guest. Both of my children were already born. I'm gonna. This could be off. Probably around 2004 is when I started staying there as a guest, and I would stay there as a guest almost every Easter. Sometimes for just 3 days or 4 days, if I could get a week off, we would stay for a week. Caroline and Whitney, who was Judith's daughter and my daughter, stepdaughter, played with the Trump children and other children. They used to play on. There was a swing near our place. We were. I'll go back there and show you later where it was. But Ted, tell us. So let's go. Let's get into some politics again, as we were with the man with the drive, the enthusiasm,
Right.
the business sense.
Get some pictures.
The business sense. This man created a business empire.
Yeah.
And he didn't lose it for operating it incorrectly. He lost it because they stole it from him.
Right.
He lost it the way I didn't lose my law practice and my security business because I wasn't running it properly. I was making a fortune running it. I mean, a fortune for me. For me, a fortune is anything over $1 million a year, and I was making 10, 15 times that. I lost it because they unfairly framed me.
Right.
They took away my bar association license, and had I not done what I did do, I should have had my bar association license taken away. And that is overcome the fear of representing Donald Trump, which most freaking frightened little scummy lawyers couldn't do.
Right.
Little scumbags couldn't do it. I have a family to support. I have a family to support. I have a family to support. Oh, yeah. Let's let them ruin the republic, so your family can live like little Islamic extremists, or maybe they can be Chinese. You ever go to law school? You shit. You go to college? Did you read history? You ever go to church? Oh, any of those things? I'm not going to ask because I'm not that kind of a guy, but you got a pair of balls? You can't imagine how often I felt like asking, and instead I was, oh, I'll help you. I'll help you. I understand. I understand why you're so worried. Here I am getting my head kicked in, left, right. And I'm working with these guys because they might take, I'm head of the unit. They may demote me. Oh, yeah? They may demote you. It was worse than anyone has described. And I don't mean for me. I would say I was, if you want to do a rating, and sometimes I'll sit down with all people involved in this, from the worst, the ones who got it the worst, we get some of the J6 people, to some of the people who maybe had it the least, they got kicked out of their job or something with it. To those who spent time in prison, to those who lost a lot of money defending and went bankrupt like me and stuff like that. And we'll try to describe it to you. Not for you. I don't want your sympathy. I want you to change this damn place. I don't want to read in the newspaper that Trump's false allegations of election fraud. Trump is still raising his false allegations of election fraud in 2020. Hey, unproven? Yeah, because we never got to prove them. Unproven now in the court of public opinion, like hell they are. Well, the only barrier there is you have to read. Now, today, who do you want to do first? I mean, they went in the order of Zelensky. Zelensky won.
Well, Zelensky was yesterday.
Netanyahu 2.
Yeah, Zelensky was yesterday.
Oh, well, Zelensky was today too.
Was he?
Yeah. He did it.
He must have done something in the morning because I was with the press.
No, he was there. He was there first. Well, let's do.
That must have been a separate press.
Yeah, let's get those.
This is Zelensky from yesterday. I have.
Well, let's do BB today.
Okay.
Okay, and then let's go back. I think there was one. Wasn't there a press conference before you got there?
I'd have to look. They
wasn't yours
they
the one
sequester
when,
us.
Yours is the one when they invited you to lunch, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
But they did that yesterday too.
Yeah, but today he had a press conference when Bibi first arrived. You were not at that press conference.
Oh, I must not have been.
You are. That's when I called you.
Oh, he did it maybe it was Israeli press or no press.
Yeah, right.
So this is the first question. So we were brought up. I'll show you the area outside of Mar-a-Lago that we waited here. This is the area outside. A lot of you haven't been here, but what you're looking at is the gate leading. This is to the front here, and so this is where the president and the Prime Minister of Israel come up. So we were able to ask.
Am I looking at the gate now?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking at the gate, and what you're under really the overpass of the entrance.
Right.
And you're looking out at the entrance gate, which is on South County Road.
Right.
South County Road runs really runs north to south, south to north. You could take South County Road with a couple of interruptions all the way down to Miami and all the other St. Augustine.
Exactly. So that's where they met, and
with interruptions because it's an island. And then the island stops. You got to come off. You got to go back on the island. Very few bridges connect different parts of the island. You generally have to go off the island onto the mainland. Like if you wanted to go up to Jupiter, which is directly north of what we're looking at, which is also sort of part of Palm Beach. I mean, many members belong in Jupiter, live in Jupiter. And many people who say they live in Palm Beach live in Jupiter. And Jupiter is as expensive and as ritzy or whatever you want to call it as Palm Beach. That's what Tiger and all the golf and Jack Nicklaus and that's where the golfers
they live up there.
Yeah. Great and known for great restaurants, great golf courses, the Bears Club, the Trump International.
Right.
There's the president.
This is earlier today with Bibi. So this is him waiting.
So now the president is at the door of Mar-a-Lago, which looks. It looks like a little bit of a black look. Ted and I know that door like we own it. I've been going in that door I was just in that door last night, in and out.
Right. That's the door. If you've been to Mar-a-Lago.
Lucky you don't have to. Lucky somebody opens it for you.
Yeah. Not too many people. So they had a nice little. So we'll fast forward here to. We were able to ask a nice question.
So Dr. Maria pointed out, of course, she is a doctor and she watches these things. Does Bibi look a little gaunt? Little, like he's lost a little too much weight?
So that's something, you'd be in a better position to having seen him before. This is my first time in person.
I always look at both of them for their health, and Bibi is always the healthiest looking guy. But today I wasn't happy. Please don't be angry at me, Bibi. I shouldn't have said that.
Right.
Just as your friend, I should have told you personally. President looked good. President looks, as they say in Italian, Spanish, a couple of other Latin languages.
Right.
Strong as, or even in.
So this is me asking
strong
the question.
As bull. Who's that talking?
We'll do it from my angle. This will be a little bit easier to.
Yeah, why don't you do it?
This is from. I'm holding the camera up, asking the question. Tell me this morning. One question, Mr. President. Can you expound on the importance of a strong relationship with the state of Israel? And Mr. Prime Minister, you've called President Trump the strongest friend for the state of Israel. You've worked with numerous administrations, numerous presidents. Can you expound on that and what makes President Trump such a strong friend for the state of Israel?
I'll say it again and again and again.
This is where the audio.
Friend by President Trump in the White House. It's not even close. And I think you can judge that by not really by the frequency of our meetings, but the content. In the White House, it's not even close. And never had a friend like. I'll say it again and again and again. We've never had a friend like President Trump in the White House. It's not even close. And I think you can judge that by the not merely by the frequency of our meetings, but by the content and the intensity. I think Israel is very blessed to have President Trump leading the United States, and I'll say leading the free world at this time. I think it's not merely Israel's great fortune, I think it's the world's great fortune.
Well, I just want to say that it's very important who the Prime Minister and President of Israel is. We have a great relationship. It was an honor to speak before your leaders. That was a great honor for me. I think it had not happened before, or something they told me. But the relationship's been extraordinary, and Bibi's a strong man. He can be very difficult on occasion.
We got a nice
He's
answer
a
out of
strong
him.
man. If you had a weak man, you wouldn't have Israel right now. Israel would have been.
What a great
Israel,
observation, huh?
Right.
With most other leaders, would not exist today. They would not exist, and now they're stronger than ever. Yeah, please.
So that was our first question of the day. We got as they were. So this was right outside, right out front, right? He had us waiting.
Well, did
out there.
you asked a question? You asked a two-part question.
I asked the question to both of them. I wanted the president to speak about the importance of America having
and
such
Bibi
a
went
strong
first.
relationship, and then I asked Mr. Prime Minister, and using your own words.
But the way you played that back, it was as if Bibi went first. I thought I remembered the president going first.
No, Bibi did go first.
Oh, he
on
did.
this one.
Okay, maybe.
On this one, Bibi went first, and if you know, this is how I asked. I will play it again.
I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure you remember. Somehow I thought he went first.
Right.
The president.
Yeah. So he did. He mentions, if I remember correctly.
Go to their version of it, of your question. Go to their where we hear them. We only vaguely hear you.
Okay.
But we knew it was you right away. Maria said,
Yeah. That's Ted.
That's Ted's voice.
Yeah, she got that. So this is
That's Ted. That's Ted.
There we go. So I got the question right after lunch.
The alleged strike on Putin's residence could scuttle the peace.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's not good.
I'm
I
next.
heard about it this morning. You know who told me about it?
Tell me that
President Putin told me about it. Early in the morning, he said he was
Strike on. I guess there was a
attacked.
strike on
It's
the
no good.
on Putin's
It's no
residence.
good. Don't forget, the Tomahawks. I stopped the Tomahawks. I
They
didn't
said
want
that they asked
We're
if
talking about,
he had a
it's
reaction to
delicate period of
the
time.
apparent strike on
This is
one of
not the
Putin's
right time.
residents.
It's one thing to be offensive because they were offensive. It's another thing to attack his house. It's not the right time.
How do
to
we know
do any
Ukraine
of
did that?
And can't do it. And I learned about it from President Putin today. I was very angry about it.
Could have been his best friend who did it.
This is me.
What?
Okay, then they tried to
Told
get
me
him.
This morning it did.
One question, Mr. President. Can
This
you
is me.
expound on the importance of a strong relationship with the state of Israel? And Mr. Prime Minister, you met
Yes, Mr.
called
President.
Trump the strongest friend for the state of Israel. You work with numerous administrations, numerous presidents. Can you expound on that and what makes President Trump such a strong friend for the state of Israel?
Why don't you go first?
Oh, I see.
And then the president
Say
says,
it
"Why don't you go
and
first?"
again and again.
But I think he appreciated the
Never
enough
had
where
Oh,
he's.
yeah,
a
yeah.
friend like President Trump in the White House. It's not even close. And I think you can judge that by not merely by the frequency of our meetings, but by the content and the intensity. I think Israel is very blessed to have President Trump leading the United States, and I'll say leading the free world at this time. I think it's not merely Israel's great fortune, I think it's the world's great fortune.
Well, I just want to say that it's very important who the Prime Minister and President of Israel is. We have a great relationship. It was an honor to speak before your leaders. That was a great honor for me. I think it had not happened before, or something they told me. But the relationship's been extraordinary, and Bibi's a strong man. He can be very difficult on occasion, but you need a
I
strong
love that
man.
answer.
If you had a weak man, you wouldn't have Israel right now. Israel would have
then-
been, Israel with most
picture
other
of it. I'll
leaders
show you a
would not
picture of it.
exist today. They would not exist, and now they're stronger than ever. Yeah, please.
Are you going to ask Netanyahu to
And that was, and then they moved on to a different question. And then later, the two gentlemen, they had a little press conference after their meeting, and we were able to ask the president a question there as well. And this one made a little bit of news.
Yeah, that one. Yep.
And I'll be honest with this one. I was little nervous. I'll be
That's
honest.
okay. We were jumping up and down.
Well, I was a little nervous. I'm thinking,
No.
is this a dumb question?
No,
like,
no,
is he
I, thought it
open
was
to?
I like this question.
And I was thinking, I wish I could call the mayor before I
no,
asked.
I'm glad you. If you did, I would have said, go right ahead with it.
Yeah, because I was a little.
No, this was a good
This is
question.
funny. So this one was during the meeting.
It's currently open to engaging in bilateral.
Mr. No reason for them to do it.
Mr. President, is the United States currently open to engaging in bilateral discussions with Tehran? We're hearing reports from numerous countries that there may be some discussions. Is that something you would support, or something that is happening? You would support that happening right now? Thank you, sir.
I have been, by the way, before the war, I would support that. I said to him, baby, I said,
I got him going on that one.
and they didn't believe what was going to happen would happen.
Yes, sir.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
That was good. No, he wanted to make that point.
Yeah.
He made that point the first time about right. A lot of people criticized him for it, but he knew. I mean, he knows he's not going to do it.
Right.
It's a great way of putting the guy in the corner. It's like making the case against him.
Right.
When you know he can't fight back, you're putting your points up on the board.
Right.
He won't have bilateral talks.
Right.
He won't have multilateral talks. He won't have talks.
Right.
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 Why? Because he's a pathological, homicidal, maniac, religious, Mohammed-inspired killer.
Right.
And that's why he won't do it. And he came pretty close to getting us all ready in a nice way at a sort of festive time when this isn't almost the right time to have this talk.
Yes.
But if, God forbid, he has to attack them in the next day or two, nobody can say they're surprised. And you could look at Bibi on the double shot, and you could see that he and Bibi had talked about that.
Yeah.
Like he basically almost triggered. Now they may change it because these guys are tricky as hell. The two of them. I mean, they really are like the Bobbsey twins. They did a good guy, bad guy for about 3 months on Hamas. That was hilarious. You know, Bibi would get attacked for some terrible attack on Hamas, destroying a third of Hamas. And Trump would say, oh, that probably went too far. I'll have to talk to him.
Yeah.
we never heard about the talk. No. It wasn't Trump like when he gets angry.
Right.
You know, we know Trump like when he got angry at Zelensky, right?
Right.
We knew he was angry at Zelensky, right?
Right.
But we never had that. We never had that happen because this was good cop, bad cop on an international level. This is almost like this one. He didn't even seem that it was necessary. He didn't even seem to think it was necessary to go that far.
Right.
He basically said, "Hey, you know, we want them to talk, and we want them to stop, and we want them to listen. But if they don't." He kind of looks at Bibi and he says, Israel's ready, and so are we. Meaning we're all set to do what we had to do before, and I bet it won't have to be as bad. So why not take a couple more shots? By the time we're finished with you, you won't be there. He's letting them become the architect of their own demise to create less reemergence problems for Israel and the United States, if and when they got to take them out. He's gonna have asked for so much that nobody will be able to defend. Nobody, you don't hear anybody yelling anymore about what he did to Iran, do you? I don't hear many people yelling about what he did to Iran at all.
Right.
Not even China or Russia.
Right.
He set that up so well.
Right. And he was, yeah.
He set that up so well that it just went down like, well, he had to do it.
Right.
He had no choice. It's a little bit like what's going on. I hate to go to the other end of the world, but it's a little like what's going on in Venezuela. He's given Maduro so many chances to exit.
Right.
That if they have to do an extraction of him or a bombing of the city or there'll be the peaceniks and the people who like drugs and the communists and that'll do it, but he will have laid the groundwork for it brilliantly.
Right.
So
I'm trying to go through some of my
yeah,
stuff.
show us some more.
Well, we got the two main
Maria,
points
Dr.
here.
Maria is here now. Our Ted was super.
Yay! We're so proud of him.
We're gonna
Tell her about that second question. You were afraid to ask it.
Yeah, well, so I'm sitting there reading. I'm reading about,
it's a good question.
It's from Iraq. Apparently, Iraq is trying to broker some sort of meeting in Baghdad between Iran and the Americans. And I'm thinking, on its face, that just seems like that's a lot for them to be doing right now, right? With everything happening there. So I'm like, I'm not going to ask about Iraq. I'm going to take that out of the question. I'm not going to ask about Baghdad, right? So I asked, but I was still nervous to ask. So I'm like, this could be perceived as a dumb question. Like, of course we're willing to talk, right, with anyone. But I was reading that different people are surmising that the U.S. and Tehran might be restarting bilateral negotiations. So I asked, but I was very nervous, and you can hear it in my voice, right? Like, I was nervous to ask. Like, last thing you want, this is international TV. The president of the United States telling you that's a dumb question, right? Like what do you think?
No, he picked up the.
You did great.
Right.
He picked up the question, and it looked like he wanted to answer it.
Right.
He answered it very, very quickly.
Right. And you notice him, he's scanning the room when he wants to call on you. It's funny. Even the prime minister, I felt like, was staring at me, and so you want to give him like this friendly face, like, you come to me, right? I'm not gonna, I'm not trying to kill you here. I'm gonna give you something, but you also don't want to be a total kiss ass, right?
Right.
So it's a fine line, but we're gonna do more of that, and we want them to be comfortable calling on us, knowing it's not going to be a hit job. We're going to ask real questions. We want real answers, but we're not there to attack the guy.
So let's talk a little about the aftermath of these two meetings.
Right.
And do we have some stuff on Zelensky from yesterday that we can go back to?
Yeah. So we'll go back to yesterday, and Zelensky. He was here on Sunday, of course, and they had a meeting, and they did some. Let's see if we can get they did a.
He had an individual interview, which may have been last night or this morning, in which he said rather correctly, but still hard to have it out there this way, that Ukraine can't win without the United States. Basically saying that if the United States hadn't been there, even with what I think he's trying to very carefully not say is modest support, because it is half support that we've given them.
Right.
We've given them, and this goes right back to Biden, and it continued through Trump. We've given them enough support to maintain themselves. We haven't given them enough support. We haven't given them enough support to win. So should we take a short break, and then we'll come back and we'll do a little Zelensky?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll take a short break here. So we'll be right back. We're gonna pay the bills here.
Here we are, pretty much at the beginning of the process here at this pristine, I call it a laboratory. It's not like a factory, it's like a hospital. This is the beginning of the process for roasting. Deep grain, very good quality. Most people don't use this quality. We deal with small farmers because they like to know who we're dealing with. They give us the highest quality, all organic, non-GMO. You should know all Arabica beans, no Robusto, all Arabica. They're going to go into the roaster, and it'll get roasted for about 20 minutes or so. Oh my goodness, look at these. My goodness. You're going to want to specially order these. This is what goes into Rudy's coffee.
Are you ready for some
U.S. Army Major Scott Smiley paid a high price serving our nation. Scott was leading his platoon in Iraq when a blast sent shrapnel through his eyes. leaving him blind and temporarily paralyzed. Scott would become the first blind active duty military officer before medically retiring years later. Thanks to friends like you, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation gave Scott and his family a mortgage-free, specially adapted smart home. Show your support for America's heroes now. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
Are you ready for some action?
I'm ready for action.
Get the Elite TV plan only through the portal. 218 channels, and it's only $69.95 a month,
Wow.
including your free portal.
That's cheaper than everyone else.
Your favorite sports, movies, news,
Wow.
even daytime dramas. We're talking about ESPN, OAN, Newsmax,
Wow.
channels you can't get anymore in certain areas.
Compared to the competition, this is a way better deal.
Endless selection. Not to mention all the free music channels. There's over 700 premium and classic movies all ready to go.
Wow.
Plus, they got catch-up TV that allows you to go back and watch what you've missed or want to watch again. Cut your cable in half and get twice as much for free.
Way more channels for half the cost.
After the first year, the subscription then drops to $57.95 monthly,
Wow.
where you change or upgrade anytime. Go to QUXNow.com and get yours today. Use promo code RUDY. Act fast. These deals are selling out.
Here we are, pretty much at the beginning of the process here at this pristine, I call it a laboratory. It's not like a factory, it's like a hospital. This is the beginning of the process for roasting. Deep grain, very good quality. Most people don't use this quality. We deal with small farmers because they like to know who we're dealing with. They give us the highest quality, all organic, non-GMO. You should know all Arabica beans, no Robusto, all Arabica. They're going to go into the roaster and it'll get roasted for about 20 minutes or so. Oh my goodness, look at these. My goodness. You're going to want to specially order these. This is what goes into Rudy's coffee.
Of the Kingdom of Norway, Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni of the Italian Republic, Prime Minister Keir Starmer of the United Kingdom of Britain and Northern Ireland, Chancellor Friedrich Merz, the Federal Republic of Germany, Secretary General Mark Rutte, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, President Ursula von der Leyen of the European Commission. We spoke to all of those great leaders. They're all great leaders. And we had a great talk with them after we were completed. We thought it was appropriate to speak with them. And our meeting was excellent. We covered, somebody would say 95%. I don't know what percent, but we have made a lot of progress on ending that war, which is really certainly the most deadly war since World War II, probably the biggest war since World War II. And I want to thank Steve Witkoff, who's here, and I'd like to thank Jared, who's here someplace. Thank you, Jared. And thank you, Steve. What a great job you've done. Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff, and Marco Rubio is here. Thank you, Marco. And Pete Hegseth is here. Those two people are doing an unbelievable job. And the four people on this one are doing, I don't think anybody could do it. And we'll see if it gets done, but it's very close, certainly. Nobody would even have a chance of getting it to where it is right now. Nobody would have thought that was possible. So I just want to say we've done very well. We've had discussions on just about every subject, and that includes with President Putin before. And we went into great detail, and we likewise went into great detail today. And it was an honor to have you at Mar-a-Lago and have lunch. I hope you enjoyed the food. Your people enjoyed the food. I can tell you that. You're big, strong people. Your general over there looks like Central Casting. I want to also, by the way, speaking of generals, we have a great general, General Raising Cane, who is here someplace. Thank you, General. Thank you very much. He's great. So, Mr. President, maybe you want to say a few words, and then we'll speak over the next couple of weeks. We'll speak probably.
We can go back.
Well,
that was the opening to the press conference yesterday between.
and then he
President
described he described a good conversation with Putin, and used a percentage figure that varied between 90 and 95%. And to some extent, I guess, at first Zelensky didn't buy into a percentage, but then Zelensky sort of agreed with the 90 to 95%. So let's see if we can sketch out what that 90 and 95% is. I mean, we all know enough about this so that we don't have to go back to square one and the beginning of the war. As you know, Russia controls the south, east to west part of Ukraine, the part that hugs the sea, and gets it all the way over to slightly short of Odessa, but now gives it a land bridge to Crimea. So it's Crimea right across the southern part of Ukraine up to Russia. And those are, originally they really wanted to take, well, let's be frank, they really want to take all of it, including Kyiv, because they attacked Kyiv, failed. But their bare minimum land bridge would have started at Kharkiv, which is another 40, 50 miles north of where they are. They have apparently given that up, which I'm very happy about, because I know that city probably better than any other. And I just read, I'll get this article out for you tomorrow. I found it, I put it somewhere, I read it, and now I've got to find it again. It's a beautiful article about something I know and very few people really, really know. And that's how the city of Kharkiv turned from a pro-Russian to a pro-Ukrainian city in a matter of less than a decade. And when I say pro-Russian, I mean over the top, wanted Ukraine to be part of Russia, to now over the top, we will all die before we let our city become part of Russia. And we'll explain the story. We'll explain the story to you. Maybe we'll get John Houvain on also, who lived a bit through that with me. But in any event, it's that lower area. I had thought that the major purpose was to cut Ukraine off from the sea, because if they took Odessa, which is a small port but a very vital one and a good one, they would have almost done that. But they seem to. They attack Odessa. They just did a terrible attack on Odessa. I have to go back to look if they've ever made a serious attempt like they have with some of the others to take Odessa. But the place they've made a lot of serious attempts and succeeded. Obviously, that's why they have 20 to 22%. But the area of Donbass in the Donetsk Oblast, which is the Donetsk state, or I think we'd call these states rather than counties. But if you wish, a county. But within Donetsk is the region of Donbass. And they control 86, somewhere between 80 and 86% of all of Donetsk. But the part they're missing is the critical part of Donbass, and the critical part of Donbass they're missing is the single best fortification that Ukraine has that has been impregnable. It's been attacked for almost 4 straight years, cannot be impregnated by them. And in fact, they have, stupidly, because they are, I may say, Vladimir Putin, right to your face, you got a stupid army. That's the reason why a little country, you've got like 3 times the gross losses and maybe 10 times the per capita losses. I mean, you fight an army by using your soldiers as bullets. They fight an army by having the soldiers shoot guns. A little different. I don't know where the hell you learned this method of warfare, and I don't know how the hell you beat the Germans that way, but if you did, wow. We overestimated Hitler. And you were overestimated. Is there any nation in the world now that really, aside from the fact that you're a bully with atomic weapons, I mean, if you didn't have those atomic weapons, I don't even think people would consider you. So they're now having to bully their way to take territory they couldn't take militarily. Theoretically, the second or third most powerful military in the world can't take a defined piece of territory from, at best, a middle power, at best, under terrible financial circumstances, with 25% of their country occupied and at war. So they want that region. Is that the single most important point to Ukraine, though? It's close, but I don't think it is. If the most important point to Russia is getting the Donbass fortifications, so let's have Russia on one side. Number one is Donbass. Now, on the Ukrainian side, and this is Rudy's analysis, not proven, it's American security for Ukraine. I didn't say NATO even, did I? If the U.S. left NATO, Ukraine would not particularly care to be a member. Ukraine would rather do, if U.S. left NATO, Ukraine would be better off doing an alliance with Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, Finland, Sweden, the Czech Republics. If they could get the Serbians away from their stupid dalliance with Putin, because I love the Serbians and I think they're terrific, and we should find a way to get them the hell away from Putin. Try to get everybody away from Putin. So, you see why I did that? I did that because I think if Putin were required to make a choice, not completely, not like his back up against the wall, he's going to be finished, but serious pressure on him, I think he'd give up the American security issue if he got Donbass. So I think that's why you're hearing this thing about for the first time, that came out over the weekend. You didn't get much notice, but I wrote it down. A 10-year security guarantee by the United States. Now, that's the first time I heard Trump put an American security guarantee on the table other than a backup to European. Now, that American security guarantee would probably want to have a lot of, it'd want to have a lot of NATO backup and European backup, but bottom line is, you get attacked, America comes to your support. Now, the Ukrainians say it's got to be longer than 10 years. Trump says, with a little wisdom to that, it ain't worth more than 10 years. Because I'm gone. Yeah, I'm gone. I'm long gone by that point. Possibly even my second administration is gone.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And you're going to have a new guy here. And Even if it's you got to put a C in here, Ted. Or we're going to lose that. And even if you get a new guy in here, who knows? Now there is some value to having it. There would be some real value to having it, even if we got a terrible president, as long as we didn't get a traitor president like Biden, right? If it were confirmed by the Senate. And I think he could get a Senate confirmed treaty. Now that would be a big deal. We have not had a Senate confirmed treaty in a long time of that magnitude. And it scared the shit out of Russia. If the Senate confirmed it, if both parties supported, America will defend Ukraine as if it were part of NATO, even though it isn't part of NATO, forever and ever and ever until the end of the world. He's going to have to give up his ambitions, or he's going to have to start becoming a lot stronger than even China. Right. And Ukraine would have its support beyond the eccentricities of up and down Europe. Yeah. One day they're here. 3 months ago, Macron was putting together an army. Today, Macron's looking for a different size set of diapers for himself. So it's like a little different. It's different. So that's where I am, Ted. That's where I think for some reason, I would have thought, in my mind, that Russia would have made that 10-year American guarantee, or any American guarantee, not Donbass, number one. That if we assume that, and you listen, and if you listen to the setups by Putin, right? The setups by Putin were, how do I set it up so I can invade next time? It'll be easier. When he put out that first big plan, right? And when somebody in the Trump administration put out the 28 plan, American plan, which to me, boys and girls, was the joint Russian-American plan, because it was silly. It gave Russia everything. And it gave Ukraine nothing. But short of that, I would have thought that at the top of the Russian list would be no American involvement in Ukrainian security. Let me deal only with. Let me have to deal only with fecal Europe. So that's interesting that he wants to do it that way. The 10 years, I can see that being worked out backdoor with the Putin, the people who are Bobby Soxers for Putin, who Putin could say 10 years, and that'd be fine, because he doesn't intend to attack while Trump is there. That's for sure. I think he figures Trump probably has enough oomph in him to get somebody reelected, to get somebody elected. So that gets him 8 years. Then there'll be a Democrat. We get 2 years to prepare, and then he can invade. Right. So 10 years is, in my estimation, a gamble and not worth a lot, and not enough to give up something that he can't militarily solve, which is a hell of an embarrassment to him. But I think a permanent one, and a Senate confirmed one, would be worse giving them the rest of Donbass. Although we do lose a lot of minerals and we do lose a lot of minerals and rare earths. What I don't understand, Ted, and maybe this is going to require a little research by Rudy tomorrow morning that he didn't do and he should have done a long time ago. Maybe calling a few people, maybe just looking myself at what I have. Why the heck is Donbass so critical as a? I mean, it's a big border. There are a lot of other places you can get into Ukraine. It is. Here's what I do know. So before we get off on things we don't have to look at, because you can help me. Donbass has the best road to Kiev. By that, it's the best protected road. There aren't a lot of cities. There aren't a lot of cities that are going to have to deal with internal resistance. It's sort of a straight, open road, easily traversed. At that time, they thought by tanks, like a tank, like almost a patent tank road to Kyiv. Although they don't have patent, believe me. A lot of their guys go in the wrong direction. And when you look at it, you can see it on the map. So what that means is you get there in 30 days instead of 3 months. There are 10 other ways to Kyiv, including the easiest one, which is through Belarus. But the guy in Belarus isn't letting them do it. Now, you look at the map, and the easiest way up, you want to put a map of Ukraine up? Just any old map? I mean, one that just shows all the parts in English?
Yep, just take a second.
But this is what they tried originally. Remember, they when they were bullying Biden, they were putting troops all along the border, various points on the border, and I was really nervous because they had a lot on their western border next to Kharkiv, because that's where they wanted to enter, next to Kharkiv. But they also put a lot up in Belarus. And Belarus, now can we make it bigger? It's a little hard for me to see at that level. Make it bigger, bigger. Okay, Ukraine, there's Kyiv, all right? Now, I want you to look. Now, Kyiv, there's Kyiv. Now, let's show them where Belarus is. It's right up there, right on top of them. There's Belarus, and there's Kyiv, and you see that little nipple that comes down in there. You see that little nipple in there? Now, that's where they put that little nipple right there. You go over that border, and you go from Belarus to Kyiv. You're there, and look where Kyiv. You're not in Kyiv. You're in Ukraine, and look where Kyiv is. See, right at the bottom of the river. There. Now, let's go straight south. Let's go straight south. Keep going south. Keep going south. You're not even there yet. You're not even there. Keep going. Go over the other way. Go east, young man. Go east. That way. The other way. The other way. Keep going. You see, nope. Gosh, I wish I had my old map here. Keep going. Keep going. Do you see Donetsk yet? Mm-hmm. Put a little arrow on it. Put a little arrow on it. There's Donetsk, and right to the north of it is Donbass. Now look at that distance. All right? Quite a difference, huh? So you tell me why that is so.
Resources, right? There's a lot of.
Yeah, but it's 5 times the trip. It must be also that northern area of Ukraine that we're looking at there is heavily defended. Yeah, we have because they attempted. Yeah, well, that's a little bit easier. That one was good. Put that up. That's easy. That's easy to see. So there's Kherson, Mariupol. Where did the car go?
Oh, that's Kherson.
Yeah. So right in the middle there, right? right in the middle. Mariupol, take Mariupol out, right out to where the white is, and Kyiv, that's about right. That's about the distance. Donetsk. And then look at right above Kyiv. You see the little nipple? Okay, look at the difference in distance. See it? Okay, there. Well, that's good. No, that's fine. Just you don't have to do much. You see where the M is in Mariupol? Okay, Mariupol to the K in Kiev. That's the distance they'd have to travel if they breached the Donetsk fortifications. You saw the little nipple on top in Kyiv? That's the amount they have to go to get there. Got to be a big difference, huh? Got to be a big difference in what exists in between those two. So also the lack of cooperation of Belarus. The president of Belarus was on and interviewed a couple of days ago in a very, very touchy interview, an interesting interview, and you could tell he's still pro-Russian, still pro-Putin, but he's not happy about this war with Ukraine. So I got to guess that after he let them use it originally, and it didn't work, since then he's been very down on the war. So he's basically said no to him, and somehow Putin has not had the push to just go put the troops there. Maybe he's afraid they'll get wiped out even before they go across the border.
Right.
We'll have to see.
We'll have to see. That I really would have been interesting to hear more about the phone calls. Apparently, he talked to President Putin this morning.
He did. He talked to President Putin this morning because he thought it was too late last night, and Putin was, according to the president, pretty positive. But then, according to the readout, they're gonna have two subcommittees to look at it.
Committees.
One's going to look at economics, and one's going to look at defense or something like that.
Yep.
And I like the 10-year thing, which I would extend at least to 20 and make Senate confirmed, because I think that also increases the already pretty substantial guarantees for American Ukrainian economic development and economic ties, which all of a sudden changes the geopolitical picture and the interest one country has in saving the others. I know this isn't popular among people who like to measure themselves by either how right wing or left wing or ding dong or boom bang or ideological they are. I've never. There's only one ideology that I ever want to make sure I stay within the margins of the defined part, and that's Catholicism. The rest of it, I kind of, and even there, I like to push the envelope a little because I think God wants me to think. But in any event, where it comes to politics, I don't get these people who are guided by ideology. I never did. If an ideology solved world peace, we'd be real peaceful. We got all kinds of ideologies. None of them work. What ideologies do is they're like philosophies. They are philosophies, but not as complete, not as intelligent, not as developed by as disciplined people. And unfortunately, very often turn into little clubs and cults and silly little things with hats and banners and meanness and who's in charge and I'm the king. And you can see that right now in this ridiculously sad battle going on with Tucker Carlson and his Tucker Carlson and his lapdog Fuentes, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy. But I don't know which one's Edgar Bergen and who's Charlie McCarthy. It looks like it looks like Fuentes is Charlie McCarthy, and Hunter. I always call him Hunter. Isn't that strange? I wonder why.
Right. Yeah.
How often have I confused him with Hunter? He looks like him, I guess.
Right.
Boy, that's a strange one, particularly now that it's gotten so weird. He's really gotten weird. I listened to Victor Davis Hanson, who has to have been a serious friend of his, more than I was. I considered myself a friend of Tucker. Never sure he was a friend of mine. You can't tell. I always thought, without good reason, he thought he was smarter than I was. I always knew that he wasn't. I never even thought we were actually at the same level. Sorry, Tucker. I used to listen to you when you were a kid. I never thought you were really as well educated or read. But I sort of, I hope, so what? I don't get all pricky about that.
Right.
Unless you start to turn. Then I get vicious about it. It's got to be pointed out. But Tucker, I don't know what he's going through.
Good question.
There are the people, there's a whole clique school, right?
Yeah.
So the clique school says all of this is about cliques. None of them give a damn about anything.
Nothing else.
And all they care about is if Candace Owen can accuse a widow of some suggestion that she killed her husband. Wow, that's a great story, even if it didn't happen. And even if she destroys the woman in the process. So if that's true, and I'm not accepting this, by the way. If that's true, you're a devil. You're a devil. You're some, I don't, for clicks? Click, 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 click. Some bucks. I mean, I don't know, Candace, there are other ways you can make bucks selling yourself at a night. You don't hurt as many people. I won't mention what they are, but
right.
If you're willing to do that, the other should be easy. It's not as terrible.
Right.
I always thought you were better than that, huh? I mean, how do you stop making suggestions like that when you don't have any proof? You don't have any investigators. You don't have any. I mean, I investigated crimes. I had grand juries. I had evidence. Even when I went after Biden, I had documents that I could show people. They could laugh at me, they could yell at me, and I could say, look at the transaction on the 3rd of February, 2016, that goes from Ukraine to Latvia, from Latvia to Croatia. They change the description of the transaction. They change a number of the distributors and distributees, but it ends up being the same total amount of money. And when it comes out to final end, which is in Cyprus, and goes to about 8 different countries or islands, it comes out the same way it went in. After going through about 6 banks, none of which having left really the upper floor of the Privat Bank in Kyiv, Ukraine. Oh, run, by the way, by the person who was the mentor, boss, teacher, creator of Zelensky, the head of the biggest money laundering bank in Eastern Europe. That's your guy, Zelensky,
right,
for whatever that means. But in any event, that's the proof that I had. When I said that the prosecutor was fired because Joe Biden wanted him fired, so the case against Joe Biden's son and the wealthiest guy in Ukraine who had bribed him could be dropped, The guy had testified to that for me on tape, and I played the tape. I played the tape for the people in the government, including the Senate, who were afraid to use it. And I played the tape for Hannity on his show. And I gave the tape and also played it with let's see, I played it 3 times, didn't I?
Right.
Who else did I give that to? Oh, the great reporter. Our great reporter.
Yeah.
Our great reporter friend.
Nick?
What?
Wait, yeah, I'd have to think.
But we'll get it.
Yeah.
But I put out the tapes. By the time I got to accuse him, I had 4 witnesses, 3 on tape, 1 in writing.
Not Miranda Devine, no.
Miranda Devine, a year later, I gave it to her.
Yeah.
But I gave it to her, not me, my word, not my speculating that Erica Kirk. How could you do this? How could you do this? This should be reacted to much more strongly than it is. And the only one who's really done it the way it should be is Victor Davis Hanson, who, by the way, is in the hospital. I don't know if you know that. I don't know how serious it is. It always sounds serious, what it's described, quickly in something. But I want Ted to look it up, and we're going to say a prayer for Victor. I think Victor Davis Hanson, and I don't know Victor Davis Hanson.
Oh, he's great. I just put a prayer up on our Twitter.
We're gonna try to get through to him and call him.
He's great.
Tomorrow, because I believe over the last 2 years or so, 3 years of commentary and podcast, he's been one of the wisest men in America. In a very encompassing way. I mean, first of all, for the masterful intellectual that he is, no airs, no. And when I was reading Proust, and Tacitus used to say, like him, right? References to everybody I just mentioned easily. Understanding of history, philosophy, yeah. A good, strong understanding of contemporary America, yeah. Articulate as hell, but with the gift of being able to talk a very intelligent, ordinary English, plain language. I remember a long time ago, when I wanted to be a better writer, I read these 3 books, three, The Art of Plain Talk, The Art of Plain Writing, maybe The Art of Plain Thinking, I don't remember. They were little short books. I think you got them from Book of the Month Club. They're great. I mean, basically, they tell you every time you want to use a big word, use an easier word to understand. You don't have to impress people. And if you want to write a long sentence, try to make it a short one. And then do the rest of it in the next sentence, and the next one, and the next one, and figure out a nice way to connect them. He's never, and this is a great credit to his ability to explain. He's never explained anything I didn't understand. And look, I'm not a genius, but I'm real smart. And if I'm not understanding what you're saying, I really do think you're probably not saying it right unless you're in an area that really is obtuse to me, like if we're talking about hydrophysics or something. But if you're talking about government and you're talking about politics and you're talking about human emotions and you're talking about psychology, even somewhat about medicine and biology, and I don't get it, then unless you're giving this to the doctors who are getting the second doctor's degree, then it's not good television or good communication. And he is terrific at that.
Right.
And he doesn't dumb it down, but he doesn't pretentiously level it up. So many of them do that because they're inadequate. Tucker does that. Well, he is extremely disappointed. He had been on with Tucker, I guess, for 8 or 9 years. and he's done several on his own in interviews in which he is questioning why. What is first of all, it is clear to him, and I would take him over my observations because it'd be unfair with my observations. I don't know Tucker that well. I'm reluctant to come to observations like this about a guy who also has great talent and great capacity for good. He says there's something wrong with him. So he's known him for 7 or 8 years, and there's something wrong with him. He's gone through all the different things that are wrong with him, and the clicks, the talk. Sometimes the talking yourself into it. You say something so often, and you get so backed into a corner with people attacking you, and then you defend yourself, and you develop only one way of looking at it, self-protection kind of thing. Which is something that you have to be very careful of. You have to be very careful of if you're in government, because you can get attacked and attacked and attacked, and you can be partially right and partially wrong, and you can't pick up the partially wrong because the partially attacked gets you so defensive that you won't listen to those people, even if they have something right about what they're saying. And then he very, very carefully touches on the Qatar part. And he sort of, I would say, although I really wish we could interview him, it sounded to me, because I'm listening to other people's interviews, that he rejected it on the grounds that Tucker doesn't need money. Comes from a privileged background, always has had a decent amount of money and made a fortune with Fox.
Right.
And doesn't seem like a lavish. What's that great expression? If you see a politician wearing $200 shoes, he's a crook. He doesn't look like a guy with lavish taste. He doesn't. He looks like he's trying to figure life out.
Right. Right.
So he pushes the Qatar part away. But in pushing the Qatar part away, there's a great deal about how much Qatar is putting into this.
Right.
Into trying to destroy Israel.
Right.
And I wouldn't, and he doesn't push away the Candace Owen part,
right,
with regard to that, or the fact that Qatar isn't putting money into a concerted effort to hating Jews, and that it isn't just anti-Semitism coming back; it's anti-Semitism being funded by the two great conspiracies to destroy America, which is communism and Islam. I know I'm supposed to say Islamic extremism. Should I say Muhammad? Islam based on the teachings of Muhammad. Islam without the teachings of Muhammad is the one you want. Unless you just want to take the first half of his teachings and throw away the second half. But it isn't just extremist, crazy Muslims who want to destroy Christians and Jews. It's what Muhammad told them to do. And now you have to find a way to reject it. If you are a decent human being and you want to be part of the human fraternity, human sorority, how about the human race? How about the one race, human race? How about that? The rest is.
That's a good point.
So we got to find out about how Victor is doing.
Yes. He's
okay. I'm very, very, very upset about that. They are canceling New Year's in various parts of the world because of Muslim threats. I don't know. We'll get a full breakdown because it was a little unclear today. They were saying they were canceling it. I've seen this happen before. I saw it in 2000. I saw a bunch of places cancel. And then about 4 days, maybe 3 days, I can't remember exactly, so don't hold me to it. But certainly before the day before New Year's, but not 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
But about, let's say, a week to 5 days before. Could have been a little before Christmas, a little after Christmas. Howard Safer and I made the decision with Louis Freeh's agreement, FBI. We're going to go with it. And and I think it was actually before Christmas because we did a 10-day sweep.
Yep.
We did a 10-day, and I left one possibility open that maybe if we found something or whatever, and I let him know that 3 or 4 days before. And we did a lot of stuff, and I'll explain it to you over the next couple of days. It's interesting in preparing for New Year's, the kind of stuff that we did. Some of this, we may have overdone it. I don't know. It also happened to be the millennial celebration. So we had the possibility that all the computers were going to go down and all the craziness they did about that. And a lot of places had canceled Christmas. When we said we were going to go with it, a lot of them put it back on, New Year's, put it back on, but a lot didn't. So I'm interested in seeing as we get a little closer. And New York has decided to go forward with it, which I told you I thought was absolutely the right decision. Because if New York doesn't, you're going to see a lot closed down. Because if New York City Police Department says, we don't think we can do this, then you tell me the police department in America that can do it.
Yep.
The FBI can't do it. It's too big. There are 15,000 FBI agents, and there are now, although dreadfully depleted, 34,000 police officers. Right. So 5,000 FBI agents or 14,000, that's half the police department, basically. And they got to be somewhere else too.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think they're bringing the National Guard in for New Year's. You can't describe New Year's as an emergency. It's an emergency you're creating. So I'm glad they made the decision. I'm glad that Zoboy is not the mayor.
Right.
I'm glad it's under Adams and Tish, and they're solid as hell. And it's a good thing they did that because I think they calmed things down in the U.S. But let's see how Europe goes. It'd also be a great indication of how far the Muslims have projected into Europe. Anything else for us, Ted, that we want so we can let people start getting ready for their New Year's Eve celebrations? Get a few people on maybe tomorrow night and tell us how they're going to celebrate New Year's.
Right. I mean, a busy day, obviously, busy meetings at Mar-a-Lago. The president is not slowing down. The president is not slowing down. So we had a busy day covering the international ongoing negotiations live from Mar-a-Lago, featuring the Trump burger, which was
Did
awesome.
you take a picture?
I did.
Did you take a picture of his face?
Yeah.
I have people I buy that for, and they save the bun.
Yeah. We know a lot of people that would do that.
No, sometimes people hear you going there and say, "Would you bring?" I've done that for people in the building. They'll say you're going. Yeah, I'll bring it back.
He should have put his. He didn't have the top on the burgers for the press.
He didn't.
He didn't put. Oh, I wish he did.
Oh,
I wish he did. I wonder if he would. I wonder if he knows this.
I bet he doesn't know.
I don't want anyone to get in trouble for
do you
that
think
either.
They're being sensitive.
I don't know, but I don't want anyone to get in
You got a
trouble. The
picture of
staff
him?
was really good.
I have a picture of it. I don't think I can find it.
Yeah, I don't have. Let's see if I have one. I'll have to upload it. But tune in tomorrow because we'll have a lot more from our coverage.
I've had people tell me they just will not eat the top. They won't eat his face.
It's just they don't want to eat the. I mean that checks out. That's
It's a pretty good. I mean, it's a good rendition.
Yeah,
and he has it.
It really is, isn't it?
You know, he has it in Washington, in Virginia too.
Yeah, I got these some pictures I took today.
Well, I don't think he was serving them hamburgers.
No, they had fish.
Oh yeah.
They had
They're all on
fish.
diet, but you can tell BB's on a diet. His neck is getting skinny.
There's BB. There's some pictures. These are pictures we took today. There they are in the. You know exactly the room we've eaten in this room. You know exactly the room they are in here.
Oh, you know that room. Yeah, we were there when it rained. Remember when it rained?
Yeah, we went
got
inside.
stuck there with Trump, and he played the music for us and all.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was a good dinner.
Right. So there's some pictures from today. We'll get some more for tomorrow and some.
That picture is right in the main entrance.
Right.
There's like I don't know. There's an entrance hall. Then you go into, I would call it a big parlor, right? But in the old days, they'd call it parlor, but it's like 3 parlors, the size of 3 parlors with an upper area for viewing or eating where Melania likes to eat. It has a great view of the outside of, and then there's a second part that leads out to the balcony, which is where he has his, where the usual dinners are held, including the famous Saturday night dinners, Friday and Saturday night dinners. And then off to the side is this room we're talking about. It's like a big giant hallway off to the side, the size of a room.
Yeah.
And you can use it for circular tables, or it does fit very nicely with one big long table like they use.
Right.
To do that kind of a thing, the only other place they could do that, and it would be too big, they'd have to section off a part of the big ballroom downstairs.
Right.
Which holds 1,000 people, which is what they use on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
So they have a lot of parties going on right now.
Right.
And
Party Central down here.
Last night they had two. They had a party at the golf course, and they had a party at the club. And I was a little sensitive about describing that because of the overflow of the New Year's party. The people invited to the
is there an oh gosh,
for the people that weren't invited to the New Year's party, except I think our friend crashed. Our friend crashed.
Okay, there
he wasn't supposed to go.
Okay,
I didn't want to tell him. Yeah, but that's okay.
You were the one or the other.
Yeah, or
neither.
There are people even at Mar-a-Lago who can just take too many parties. A lot of these people don't work.
I was like, you see some there at every party. It's like that's their job is to show up to a party.
First of all, if I did all those parties, I'd be more tired than I am working.
Yeah. Right. What would we?
The parties get me more tired than working.
Right. It's like you. Yeah, it is amazing.
I haven't seen you in 3 years. You look great. Nobody ever comes up to you. You look shitty.
Yeah.
You really look shitty. Boy, did you get fat, or boy, did you get skinny. What are you taking one of those pumpers?
Yeah,
that gives you one of those.
And what do you say? Right? You see these folks at every party, and it's like the same.
You never have the guts to do this. Take one woman and say, "Ma'am, would you come with me for a moment?" "Ma'am, is this your twin sister?" "Oh no, we both went to Dr. Mariensky."
Yeah. Great people, though.
So I'm going to end tonight. We're going to say some prayers. We're going to say some prayers for the peace negotiations. There are 2 of them going on simultaneously. They may get settled simultaneously. They're on a sort of track where they both could go or not. Right.
Right.
So let's pray for the people of Ukraine, and that and that they get secure. They get security so they can bring their lives back, bring their country back, with the guidance of the U.S. to a really productive country that it should be. And really, if they can deal with this Russian thing, if they can get Russia out of their hair and pay the awful price they're going to have to pay for it, they've got everything going for them. They're very smart people. They're very well-educated people. They got people with a great history.
Right.
It is sufficiently independent from Russia so that they would want to be their own people. And if they didn't want to be their own people, Russia has proved it to them. As the story I'll tell you, I think I'll do it tomorrow night about Kharkiv, will convince you that even if they were Russian in some way more than is really true, because there's some truth and some falsity to that, what Russia has done to them now and over the last 100 years would say to you, I don't want to be part of those people ever. I'd rather take my children and take them to Mexico or America or whatever. So let's pray for the people of Ukraine that they get peace. And let's pray for the people of Russia that they stop being put into this murder mill by the murderer-in-chief, Putin. And God, any way you can enter his black soul and stop him from liking to kill people. I knew people who like to kill people. A man who does killings on Christmas and New Year's and doesn't care that he's killing babies and for no reason now, he's not going to get any more but a couple more attacks on it. That's a man with a black soul. Could you do something with it? Only you can. So let's also you say, did you want to add a prayer? Please, feel free. That's what happened.
Like as you said, Mayor, we want to pray for everyone who's hurting during this holiday season, or maybe some people that are feeling alone or missing someone.
There always are.
Yeah, we want to think of all those folks.
There always are, Ted.
Pray for of course, we want to pray for the president and the ongoing negotiations. Everyone over there at Mar-a-Lago, dealing with very big issues from Kiev to Jerusalem and in so many other places.
Yeah, and let them make sure they're all guided by the good of the United States and the good of humanity. That just stays perfectly in their head, nothing else. And give them a little luck, because sometimes it takes a little luck that somebody who's been very stubborn is just going to back off on an issue. Like if we could just get Putin to back off on the security issue, maybe we can get this thing solved, huh?
Right.
I don't know what we do about Hamas. I'm going to pray that you change the mind of Hamas and that they disarm. But I'm not sure. You know this better than I do, God. But do the people in that terrorist group have souls left? Can you reach people like that? They promise to disarm. They're not disarming. As they don't disarm, more people die. What do we do? Do we keep asking them to disarm as they are killing more and more people? Or do we end the killing of more and more people and end them? That's a tough one. So we pray to you for guidance on that. And we pray for all those people that Ted was talking about, because Christmas time is the happiest time of the year and the saddest, isn't it? It's the saddest when something is wrong and you're lonely and you're alone and everything's gone wrong, and it all becomes magnified by all the appropriate and maybe excessive celebrations, or not as religious celebrations. Let's put it that way. I don't know if they're excessive, but then it could be true with New Year's too. Right. Remember, whenever you're completely low, really, really low, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing that'll help. It's never going to get better. That's always when it does. Because it's not true. It's a mental construct. It's an emotional construct. I'm going to make it religious. It could be psychological. That's the devil. It's the devil tempting you to take your own life. He's trying to paint a picture of hopelessness for you. And if you can just close your eyes and just say, I'm not going to act right now on this. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait 3 days. And if I feel this way 3 days, who knows what I'll do? I'm just going to wait 3 days, and I'm going to try to think of. I'm going to try to think of other things I haven't thought of that'll get me out of this and move me out of this, or go to some place where I think people may help me. Go to a church, or. It's when you hit the bottom that you should say, stop now and let me try something different. There are so many places that want to help you. You know that. You know that. Just ask. Ask the police officer, where can I go for help? Just ask him. He'll tell you. And ask God. He'll tell you for sure. So we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 here. We'll see what we can get from Mar-a-Lago. We'll see what's going on there. We're going to try to sneak. We're going to try to sneak our major White House reporter in now. Who knows?
Right.
They seem to like him there. And we'll get back and take a look at that beautiful. Get you some more pictures of that beautiful place.
Yeah.
that's becoming the place of peace, huh?
Right. Yeah. We'll see what's
Well,
going
there
on.
can't be anything that we could be working harder on during this holy season than peace.
Right? How do you get? It doesn't get much.
And remember, we're still in the Christmas season. We have a number of days to go to the Epiphany, which is the Greek and Russian Christmas, and Armenian Christmas, and of course, and to Roman Catholics and Christians and Protestants, it's the feast of the three of the kings, right?
Right.
The three kings.
Right.
So we got lots of religious celebrations ahead, and lots of hope for the new year. And maybe we can ring it in with some good news. We still have a couple of big days to go.
Right.
So come back tomorrow and you'll get it right here. Right from Mar-a-Lago. We're going to sneak them in. We don't have to even sneak them in. They take them in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, God bless America. It's our purpose to bring to bear the principle of common sense and rational discussion to the issues of our day. America was created at a time of great turmoil, tremendous disagreements, anger, hatred. There was a book written in 1776 that guided much of the discipline of thinking that brought to us the discovery of our freedoms, of our God-given freedoms. It was Thomas Paine's Common Sense, written in 1776, one of the first American bestsellers, in which Thomas Paine explained, by rational principles, the reason why these small colonies felt the necessity to separate from the Kingdom of Great Britain and the King of England. He explained their inherent desire for liberty, for freedom, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, the ability to select the people who govern them. And he explained it in ways that were understandable to all the people, not just the elite. Because the desire for freedom is universal. The desire for freedom adheres in the human mind, and it is part of the human soul. This is exactly the time we should consult our history. Look at what we've done in the past and see if we can't use it to help us now. We understand that our founders created the greatest country in the history of the world, the greatest democracy, the freest country, a country that has taken more people out of poverty than any country ever. All of us are so fortunate to be Americans. But a great deal of the reason for America's constant ability to self-improve is because we're able to reason. We're able to